All right, thank you guys for being here. Exciting time of year, best time of year. First and foremost, I want to give a good luck and a thank you to our students and faculty. First day of class today, back on campus. There's certainly a buzz. Good luck on a great fall semester. We appreciate all you do for us. And I tell you what makes the fall semester a lot more enjoyable is when the football team's winning football games, and that's our goal to get that done. Want to shout out to some facility upgrades we've had. The Mike Case Center has been upgraded, and it looks very different for the first time since 2007 when it was built. So Mike Case continues to be the catalyst that makes this university competitive. Our upgrades are going to put us right there in the middle of this conference, the upper echelon of this conference with facilities. It looks really good in there. If you have an opportunity to go check it out. It's not finished yet, but they've been working hard on that for the last 3 months. Our administration's done a good job there. Chapman Stadium, Skelly Field, new turf, Shaw Sports Turf did a great installment earlier this summer, and we've really enjoyed being out there this summer and during training camp, and it feels really good. It's been 8 long months to get here. It's an exciting week. We're fired up. Our team's fired up. I can't wait to watch our kids play. We've earned the right to be competitive this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing that Saturday for the first time. Captains were named last night. We voted on team captains yesterday. The way I've always done it is the head coach gets 1 pick, and then the team votes on 4 captains, 2 on each side of the ball. So Chris Thompson was my head coach's pick. I know he's injured right now. Expect to get him back, but he's been nothing but great from a team captain perspective for us. Defensively, we've got a junior linebacker from Cincinnati, Ohio, Ray Coney, who had the most votes of anybody on the team. A returner, Ty Newhouse from Lawrence, Kansas, defensive lineman, junior. Excited for him and his opportunity to lead our guys. Kirk Francis, quarterback, returning from here in Tulsa, Metro Christian, and then Sevion Morrison from Edison here in Tulsa was also selected by his teammates. I was a 3-time captain. It's one of the greatest honors of my life. It's something I really took to heart. When you're voted as a team captain by your teammates, it is a big deal because the coaches see you in one light, the players see you in another. The fact that our coaches and our players are seeing the same kind of leaders in our program makes me really excited about the culture we've created. The thing I've talked to our team a lot about this week, this is first impression week, right? Like this would be the only game in the history of the Trey Lamb era at Tulsa where it's the first time. It would be the only time our first impression for our 2025 football team gets a chance to show what we've done in our first impression out there on the field. Our expectation is to play simple, play fast, play hard, and play with our hair on fire and harder than anybody else in the country. And I've challenged our coaches to not overcomplicate it, fight boredom, do what we do best, do what our kids can execute through the first 8 months we've been here in OTA, spring practice, fall camp. Let's not overdo this thing, not overcomplicate it, and go play fast. You look at week 0 this past week, I had the opportunity Saturday. We had a scrimmage Saturday morning, and I was able to watch football all afternoon. In 9 games in college football, there was 5 muff punts, 27 turnovers, and 122 penalties. So double the turnovers that week 0 from last year. Last year was 14 turnovers. This year was 27 across those games. 5 muff punts and 42 more penalties this weekend than there was last year, week 0. So a lot of sloppy football was played on Saturday. My challenge to our team has been play smart, play clean, play fast, and keep it simple and let our guys execute. That's the challenge for our coaching staff, offense, defense, and special teams coordinators. We are not going to go out there and try to reinvent the wheel because it's the first game. We are going to do what we do and play fast. Play fast. Abilene Christian, great team with a great head coach. Keith Patterson obviously had great years here at Tulsa. Unbelievable man. Does it the right way. Good Christian man. Really good football coach. They had a good team last year, went 9-4, lost in the second round of the playoffs. This would be a great test for us. They are a good ball club. They return a lot of players on defense. You know, Graham Harrell's the offensive coordinator first year. It's kind of funny. Graham's a couple years older than me, and, you know, Graham Harrell and Colt McCoy were the guys I watched. Like, that's who I studied on DVDs when I was in college. A young player in college, I wanted to be like Colt McCoy and Graham Harrell. And it's pretty cool to get to coach against him. He'll do a great job with his air raid offense, and Coach Patterson does an awesome job. He'll have those guys ready to play. Great head coach, good defensive mind. Some of their better players could play anywhere in the country. They would start for every team in our league. Their will linebacker, number 1, would start at every team in our league. Their 2 edge guys, number 8 and number 90, would start anywhere in our conference without question. Great football players. Number 2 in the back end corner, 6'2", 210. They're going to move him around and play some different positions with him. He does a phenomenal job. Offensively, they lost pretty much everybody, all 5 starters on the O-line, running back, quarterback. Coach Bowie, who took the OC job at Western Kentucky, put up 41 points Saturday with McIver, the quarterback that they had last year, took him with him through the transfer portal. J.J. Henry's their leading receiver coming back. He is very slippery. Ole Miss transfer, 5'10", 160. He is a guy that can break the game open. He's extremely fast and quick, a lot like Zion Booker on our side of the ball, a true slot. They're going to move him around and try to get him the ball. And then your tight end, number 88, Texas Tech transfer, 6'7", is a real threat in the passing game. So a lot of question marks for our defensive staff. Like, what are they going to run on offense? What's Graham going to do? Is he going to go back to his USC days, West Virginia days, or is it going to be like more like Purdue and Texas Tech, 4 open air raid? We will have that question answered by the end of the first quarter. We're prepared for both, and we're excited for the challenge that he's going to present to our defensive staff and our defensive players. It's going to be great weather. Really encouraged by our fan base that has shown up in some of the scrimmages and shown some presence on social media. I expect a big crowd, great weather, first game of the year. Come out and see us. Come see what we have to prove, and I hope we accomplish things that we didn't even think were imaginable this season. So with that, questions.
What is your best memory from an opening day?
The first game I ever coached as a head coach, we were down 20-0 at Abilene. They were ranked number 24 in the country. We scored 42 unanswered in the second half and won 42-20 in my first game as a head coach.
What do you remember about last year's opening game and what the culmination of the building process you did last year, how did that transfer itself to opening night last year?
Yeah, we played up last year. We played a group of 5 in Appalachian State. I've been on the other side of this game like 10 times. I've been Gardner-Webb versus Marshall, Liberty, Coastal Carolina. I mean, on and on. And I've been on the Georgia Southern. I've been on the other side of this game like 10 times. I know that they're going to be ready to play. This is big for them. This changes their program, and that's the way I always felt in these games. We were going to try fake punts. We were going to try to do anything we could to win the game. But just last year we were playing up at App State. Our quarterback struggled, kind of honed in after that game of what we were good at, and came out of that game pretty healthy and got better.
Coach Chris Lincoln, you talked about first impressions.
Mm-hmm.
This is your one time to make that first impression. Your thoughts?
Yeah, just don't overcomplicate it. Like, we don't have to go trick them, and it wouldn't matter if we're playing Georgia, Abilene Christian, UCO, Oklahoma. Like, I want to set the standard of who we are. Like, I want an identity when we walk out of that stadium Saturday night. I want fans, family members, our players, our staff to be like, okay, these guys are pretty dang good at this, this, and this. They're going to make teams stop this, this, and this, and they're going to play really hard and really fast, and their players are going to know what to do. Like, that is my goal for first impressions. I want you to walk out of that stadium and say, man, those guys play hard, they play smart, and they know what they're doing. They look organized.
How do you anticipate handling the running back room and dishing out carries?
Yeah, I think it's going to play itself out through the year. You know, certainly Dom Richardson's a hammer, and he's been very impressive. Sevion's kind of does every job in the playbook. You could call any play with him in the game, and then BP's a terror on the perimeter in space. So we've got a play calls set for all 3 players. AJ could be part of the mix there, AJ Allen. We got a young freshman I really like, Kelvin Washington from Longview, Texas, who has made a big impression in training camp. He's going to play this year. He's more of the BP style scat back, great pass catcher. So we've got to do a good job making sure we keep them fresh all year. We all know running backs, you can get a little tread on the tires, and they look different in week 8. I want to make sure that we're not overdoing it. Each guy should have his carries. I don't want anybody to be in the 30 carry range, but I could see Dom and Sevion getting up in that 15, 20 range and BP getting in the 8 carries, 8 catches type deal. So that's kind of a 3-headed monster right now with AJ and Kelvin being able to spell those guys.
For you personally, you've been here for 8 months now, but it all leads to week 1 coming up. How do you anticipate handling the emotions of an opening night at a new school?
I'm prepared. Like, I I'm bored today in the office. Like, we've had this plan in for months. I mean, we started watching these guys in April, and the more I watch them, the more I want to put in and I got to fight it. Like, I want to make sure, like, we know what we're doing. Our players are in class all day. They're not sitting up there watching film like I am and our staff is. We're going to fight boredom. We're going to be prepared, and we're going to play our tails off. Like, that's the three things I can promise you. And I'm not going to be nervous at all. I let all the other coaches get puckered up and nervous. I think that's one of the greatest advantages you have when you got a young staff and you're at a place like Tulsa. There's nothing for us to lose this year. We're going to be the underdog in almost every game. Like, we're going to go out there with a chip on our shoulder and go let it all hang out, and that's how we're going to coach and play.
Can you talk to the specific challenge with Abilene's defense coming back with the number of stars they have, and they throw multiple things at you? So what type of specific challenge is that for you and your staff on the play calling front?
Yeah, certainly very aggressive. It helps having Kirk Francis, who can handle a high volume of offense. We've got to be able to dictate the tempos with huddle, motion shifts. We don't ever want to give them clean pictures from the sideline. We don't want to let them have the pin last because Keith will dial you up. And Coach does a nice job of recognizing formations and personnels. So we're going to make sure we have the pin last, whether that's huddling or going fast or shifting or trading or catching them off guard with unbalanced or whatever it may be. So we've got to make sure we always have the advantage offensively, and then we got to make them play to our pace and, make them play to our pace. And he does some things in the red zone. When you cross the 50, he'll zero blitz you. No problem, 1st and 10. Like, no issue. He will bring 7 guys and play cover 0. He'll also drop 8, and play cover 2 and cover 3 buzz and cover 3 weak. And he'll match some cover 1 in there. They're giving you multiple fronts with moving number 8 around. He'll mug in the A gap. He'll mug in the B gap. He'll play on the edge. He'll play Mike linebacker. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure simple for them, but hard for a team to prepare for in 7 days. Luckily, we've had 4 months, and that's going to help us in this game.
Next question in terms of difficulty, and you talked about them offensively as well. You don't really know what version that you're going to get, so to pack all that in, probably pretty nice to have this one as the opener rather than having just a limited time to prepare overall.
There's no question. Having this game as the opener certainly helps because they're going to be different schematically on both sides than some other teams we play. They're not vanilla on either side of the ball. So we've got to. And when you're playing somebody who's not vanilla, my thought has always been less is more. I've never walked out of a game since I've been a head coach or a play caller, and that's 8 years in a row, where I said, man, I didn't have enough on the call sheet, and we lost the game or didn't play well on offense. But I've had at least 5 times where I've walked out of the game, I got too much, I can't get to what we do best, I got too many plays on there. So my thought, when people are complicated and complex, we want to shrink the menu and get good at a few things.
We talk a lot always about the team coming together, but how about overall the staff, just chemistry that you guys have had to build now in this 8-month period?
It's been great. Tulsa's been great to us, and, we got a bunch of young guys. We spend a lot of time together outside the office. Clint Roundtree took us up to the lake and during training camp for a good 24-hour break, and we spent the night up there kind of like a staff retreat with our full-time staff and wives. We had family dinner last night at One Oak in the facility. We'll do that every Sunday night. We got a lot of guys that are in the same walk of life. A lot of young fathers, young husbands, young kids, guys. I told the staff last week I don't want to see you in the office before 9 o'clock in the a.m. because it was the first week of school, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to take their child to school for the first week. And being a dad and being a father and being a good husband are going to all mean a lot more when you're laying on your deathbed than how many games I won. So we've got to make sure we do a conscious effort of being home first and being there for our wives and our kids before we're football coaches.
I heard you mention this, so I think it's good to bring this up. Mason's role on game day, up in the box, kind of an analytical side of what you're doing, constant contact with you, but also paying attention to situations involving timeouts. How beneficial is it to have him up there? Yeah,
I mean, the way it works is I call the whole game on offense. Okay, Coach Robbins has a high influence on that, especially with in-game adjustments and 2-minute offense, situational stuff, because he's seeing it from the box. It's harder to see from the sideline. But I call every play on offense. Coach Reardon calls every play on defense, and every once in a while I'll get on there in critical moments and tell him if I want something. And then Coach Barfield calls all the special teams. And now we go over these during the week of what the situational calls are going to be. And if we want to fake one, that's my call. If we want to sky punt, that's my call. If we want to rugby punt, that's my call. But he's making the special teams calls. And then Mason's in the box with the analytics book. So he's relaying down information to me. Every time we get a new set of chains on offense, he's giving me, hey, 4th and 3 or less, go for it. 4th and 6 or less, go for it. 4th and 2 or less, go for it. So then I know as a play caller, okay, here's my train of thought on these next 3 downs. Are we going to get a new set of downs? Are we going to take a shot? And that really helps. And then end-of-game timeouts, he's going to tell me, hey, Coach, we got to get it under 2:22 to take a knee. Hey, we need one more first down. If we get the first down, the player needs to go down and not score so we don't get the ball back to the other team. Just stuff like that we show the team every week in cut-ups from our analytics company. And also it's great after the game when I got to go face you guys in the media, I can just say the analytics book told me to do it. So that's the great view of analytics from the head coach perspective.
Coach, you talked about first impressions and first game. What are the biggest concerns, because there's only one first game, what are the biggest concerns going into a first game for a head coach?
Being too hyped as a team, like wanting it too bad where you can't take a deep breath, overdoing it in pregame warm-ups, fumbles, bad snaps, false starts, just unorganization. You saw the Kansas State, Iowa State game. They're just fumbling the ball back and forth to each other, muffing punts. I know the weather was bad, but like that kind of stuff just terrifies. That's where you lose sleep. All right, that's where you lose sleep. Just going and giving people short fields and giving people stuff is the big concern. Giving up big plays on defense, getting a post thrown over your head, getting a double move run on you. Like that Iowa State, Kansas State game was just like terrifying from a head coach perspective. It was all the bad stuff you don't want to see.
A couple of things. Number one, you talked about that and the number of turnovers and penalties and that kind of thing. How much, if any, of that do you attribute to the fact that every year these are new teams? So many new players, so many new guys. You've got X number of days to get those guys together and ready. And even though catching a punt should be catching a punt, you never know. And then secondly, you talked a lot about boredom. How do you fight it? What do you guys do? Do anything special or?
One thing we do when we talk about fighting boredom is we have a very specific number of plays you're going to carry into a game. And if a coach has an idea and I like it, we get the first thing I say, all right, well, we take an out. All right, you want this one this bad, and you think it's going to execute in this area of the field, what are we taking out? Because you can only rep so much stuff during the week. So I'm very specific about the number of plays, and I think Lincoln Riley's a great play caller, and all the Oklahoma fans are going to crush me for that. But I think he's really good. Lincoln is not scared to run the same play 10 times in a game. The best play callers in the world know what works and is not scared to keep calling it. The worst ones have a Denny's menu and just pick a new play every time, and like, why didn't that work? Well, we only practiced it twice. So I think that's a key piece of it. What was your first question? The new players. Okay, so yeah, like we got 56 new players. First time they'll ever play together is Friday night or Saturday night. So yeah, there's a lot of that. I think that's a lot of reason football has gotten sloppier early in the years. I don't know how good we're going to be till week 4. Like, I hope we're 3-0 going into week 4. I have no clue what kind of football team I'm going to have until week 4. I've never seen a lot of these guys play. A lot of these guys starting for us have not played a lot of meaningful football. And I'd say there's probably less than 15 guys on our team that have started or played meaningful snaps on winning teams. So my biggest concern in year 1 and early in the year, can we win close games? I have no question we're going to be competitive. We got talent to be in games, and we're going to play hard and play smart enough to be in games. Can we finish tight games? Because we know we're going to be in 7, 8 one-score games. That's just how it is year 1. And would we love to get to the point where we're beating the crap out of people? Yeah. Is that going to be this year? Probably not. So we're going to be in a lot of tight games. Can we finish drives in the fourth quarter? Can we get stops in the fourth quarter? Can we finish half times? Can we win in those situations when, at the moment of truth, can we make the play? And that's what we got to figure out about this ball club.
Anything else?
Yeah, I know you had a few guys banged up, but how's the health coming?
Good. We've probably got 2 guys out for this game. Chris Thompson and Zion Steptoe. Zion's got a broken hand. He's questionable. Could play, could not play. If he wasn't a receiver, he would start. But Zion's got a broken hand. He broke it about 2 weeks ago. Hadn't practiced in a couple weeks, but we anticipated getting him back for this game. Would love to have him back. We'll see how he looks in practice this week. And then Chris Thompson out for the time being. He gets his cast off today, which is good news. He'll be walking around seeing how it feels. So if we can't get him back for meaningful games this fall, he'll get a medical red shirt and get him back for an 8th year.